Hello everybody, how's it going? It's me, Krendor, and welcome back to some Warhammer painting. Today, I'm gonna be working on a Gnawhole. Well, this is one I've already been working on. In fact, I've been painting this kind of lazily. It's really just contrast paints and dry brushing and then, you know, some metallics, but it's got a few more pieces. Like I gotta paint under here, I gotta clean some stuff up. I got these little things on the side, but for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it, you know, especially if it's down like on a table and you're playing a game. Like most people are gonna be like, oh, that looks pretty neat. I know what it is. So, I'm gonna be doing a second Gnawhole here, although I've only got about 20 minutes, so we'll see how much I get done in that time, but I wanted to at least do something on this channel for painting, because I haven't done that in a while. I've just been doing a lot of opinion things of like, here's my opinion on whatever thing just happened in Warhammer or whatever. Or here's a Battletome review. So I think I like doing this because I think a lot of people like to paint along. You know, it's kind of like the God, not Bob Ross. There used to be some really old kid show where like he'd like teach you how to draw. This is really like nothing like that. I don't know why I thought of it, but it just popped up in my head. It was like drawing with Pappy or something. Was that it? Pappy? Pappy's drawing? I don't know. Whatever. Either way, so this Gnawhole, Warpstone, liquid, I don't know what it is a combination of like Hexwraith Flame and Tesseract Glow. I could have used just straight up Warp Lightning, but I wanted to get creative. I was like, you know what? I think all the Gnawholes I've seen have that, so I'd like to try something new, mix it up a little bit, and that's what I did. So I'm actually pretty happy with how it turned out. I think it's pretty cool. My only issue is that after I did that, then I started painting here, and so you can kind of see, if you look hard enough, there's like little specks of paint that kind of got in here that don't really look like they belong there. But, you know, again, you know, I can touch that up if it really bothers me or whatever. That's fine. So, let's get out my old shade brush for doing some contrast painting. So we're just gonna Basilicanum Gray all over here, all over the stones. I also realized I have to do the little things in here. You see that? You like put little Warpstone marks in there. Right now they're just gray, but ideally I'd like those to be painted in. All right, so let's see if this can actually stay open. Dude, come on. All right, there we go. What if I just... All right, nice. I've kind of... Here's what I've got going. I'm using this pot to keep this lid open as I have this here. I mean, normally I would just do this, but I'm going to be using so much on the stones, like, whatever, I'm just going straight in. Contrast, you can just do this as well, so it's kind of... Also... This brush is a little janky, but... It's whatever, alright. So we're going to do the outside first. Kind of just... Try to get as much of this all over. Of course, I picked like the biggest rock to start on. Just kind of spread it around. And make sure it gets in all little crevices. Dude, I've been loving contrast paint lately. I know some people are like, oh, contrast paint. But straight up, like... Right now it doesn't look great, but once you hit it with the dry brush, like, it looks pretty solid. And to me, it's like, I'm not gonna paint things that I really care about with the contrast paint. Does that make sense? Unless it, like, fits pretty well with it. Like, I'm able to use it as a tool more than anything and not just slap it on. But... You know, for things like lizards and stuff where you can just do that and it shades and base coats at the same time, it's great. Plus, I mean, it's so thin that you can just paint over it like whenever. Like, it's literally nothing. So my main point is that for armies I don't really care about, or just, not even armies I don't care about, but just like pieces that I don't care about, or that I want to get painted. Like, I have 3 of these, you know what I mean? I don't want to spend forever just being like every little rock with my base coat. You know what I mean? So just being able to do this and then straight up dry brush over it is just really nice. Especially because I'm trying to get a lot of stuff done before the new book comes out. Because obviously Seraphon Lizardmen are like my favorite. But outside of that, I would say Skaven's probably my number 2 favorite Warhammer army. So I'm really excited for that new book. A little bit down in here. So I've been saying it's going to be a hot rat summer. Even though last year was actually a hot rat summer, I actually got started with Skaven last year. So it's kind of funny that 1 year later, I'm like back at the rats again. Back at the rats again. Okay. Here we are. Because I think last year I was painting a plague catapult for, I don't know, just because. I think it's up on this channel, like me painting the plague catapult. Well, I was like dry brushing it and trying to make it look more like wood, but it's actually pretty easy to dry brush a lot of wood in Warhammer. Oh god. Some of this, the nice part again about contrast is, say, like back here, okay? I'm gonna show you. This isn't a professional grade work, as you probably know. So back here, you can kind of see the rocks and like some stuff have the green on them. And I don't know if I want the green on them, but because contrast is so thin, I can literally go ahead and take like, I don't know, what's like a dark gray? I don't know, like an Eshin gray, right? I can take this Eshin gray and I can just paint over it and it'll work because obviously it's going to be thicker than the contrast paint. So the other nice part is even if you paint with contrast, say you want to paint up an army real quick to play with it on the table and just have it painted instead of sitting there like plastic, you can throw contrast on and then be like, hey, you know what? Actually, I want to paint this model. And you can just straight up paint over the contrast. And it'll, I guarantee you nobody will notice the difference. Maybe if you're like trying to win awards or something, they'll be like, I can tell the tones of the colors have been painted over. But like straight up, for the most part, nobody's gonna know. Like, I'll tell you that right now. Let's get a little bit in here. Plus, I think painting with contrast is actually pretty fun. It kind of simplifies it too. I painted all my nurgle with contrast paint, and I think they look great. The big thing though with nurgle was I zenithal primed them. So if you zenithal prime with contrast, it straight up looks really good. Like, I would recommend zenithal priming like everything if you're using contrast. I didn't zenithal prime these with contrast, but I primed these like a year ago, so it's all good. It does so much shadowing and shading for you, it's insane. Hold on here, can't even see what I'm doing. Let's see, sorry, I have to like get in here anyway, but it's alright, I'll show you in a second. I've showed off a lot of things on the channel already, otherwise I would go grab my nurgle and show you. Well, I mean, I could just show you anyway. Also, there's like a hair, like a spider web on here. Love it. Get off of here. Okay. Also, I don't know what it is, but sometimes I hit spots where I don't think they primed very well. I think either I primed when it was too humid out and the primer just doesn't stick well, but like the paint won't stick. I don't know. Either way, it's whatever. I just kind of go over it numerous times until it's fine. Jeez. Just get in there. Alright, and then I'm gonna do this one more rock. Take a little nurgle break. A little nurgle break. Alright, gotta move it around before it starts drying and it looks all slodgy. Starting to get that way, but that's fine. Doesn't look as bad on rocks. So you can kind of make it a little jagged at the bottom so it looks more rock-like. Alright, here we go. Let me see, I get in here. I think I did. Alright, so you can see, here's the unprimed parts. Now if we flip it around, we have the, or unpainted parts, I don't know what I'm saying. And here's the contrast rocks. So this is just step one, because obviously the goal is for it to look more like this with the dry brushing. And the way we get that is you just take some Ulthuan Gray and you literally just dry brush and go crazy, and then that's that. So it's pretty easy. But hold on, I'm gonna show you my nurgle stuff real quick. This is probably my favorite one. I'll show this guy too. So here's my two that I've pretty much only used contrast on. Here's the Great Unclean one. And this is all just contrast. This is contrast with dry brushing. This is all just Zenithal primed with Plaguebearer flesh. This is contrast. The sword is not contrast, so that's a lie. The metal's not contrast. The red is contrast, so he's like 80% contrast. The sword is like some metal, some Nuln Oil. I think I used Nuln Oil and then some shade. But I mean, overall, for like just, you know, taking paint, going, you know what I mean? Like, he looks pretty solid, especially put him on the table and people just see him from that far away and you're like, shit, dude, that guy looks great. You must have spent a while on him. And you're like, and then here's the other guy that was Zenithal primed. And then this guy, I used Dark Oath flesh and then I let it dry. And then I went over with a Plaguebearer flesh because the Magath Lords, I was like, I'd like them to be a slightly different color, you know what I mean? Because they're not like nurgle, but they're still nurgle. Does that make sense? And so the other one I used Fire Slayer flesh, so the other guy I have like this is a little more red, so at least has a bit of differential between them. But and then this I just threw like numerous greens on. It's got like Tesseract glow, it's got the nurgle rot, so it looks kind of slimy, just so it's like he's vomiting that out. And then the dude on top, the actual lord, and then a lot of just, you know, dry brushed little boils and stuff. But I mean, overall, like I'm extremely content with this. Like, it was just easy to do, didn't take too long. I can put it on the table, play with it, and be like, yo, this guy looks pretty neat. So you know what I mean? That's the power of contrast and Zenithal Prime. Alright. So, let's keep going. Oh, yeah. I think I bumped the thing, that's fine. Let's keep going with this rock paint. Alright. I'm gonna do that one big rock last. Let's go right here. Let's do some big glops. Big glops all over. Let's get some more. Get a little in here. A little over here. Let's get some more in the crevices up here. Alright. Like, doing the contrast paint, it always reminds me, you know, like when Bob Ross does the painting and he's just like, you throw some paint over here, happy little clouds, all that, and you're like, this painting doesn't look great yet. And then he just does like a few things, like he hits it with the dry brush. He doesn't actually dry brush, but you know, Warhammer speaking, he like does something and you're like, oh, that looks really good now. I feel like that's what this is kind of like. Like, at first you're like, these rocks don't look that great, and you hit him with the brush and you're like, oh yeah, that's good rock. That's good rock right there. Alright, here we go. There we go. That's a big rock. I We got these 2 rocks. What time is it? Alright, I'm doing pretty good on time. Doing pretty good on time. The other hard part is just doing all the wood for these things. Like, my god. I hit the point where I was like, I don't even care if I paint over stuff, you know what I mean? I was like, I'll just paint over it later. It's so hard to avoid all little metal things and all that. Alright. Oh boy. There's definitely a part I'm gonna have to paint over down the line. Because I don't like how that green blends. I might have to do that with like all my Gnawholes, but it's fine. Alright, we just got these 2 big rocks. Up top here. Kind of spread them out. Work from the top. Let it kind of drip down. I was just saying, I think in one of my promotional videos for my main channel, for this channel. Uh-oh. That's gonna need some glue. That threw me off. Oh, that I've been doing this for 3 years now. It's actually been my 3rd year that I started Warhammer. In, I started like early July, so it's like I'm pretty much a little under a month away from having done this 3 years. And I am still happy I got into it. I still love it. Still love it, 100%. It's fun. It's a nice hobby. I've made a lot of good friends. Played a lot of good games, rolled a lot of terrible dice, but also a lot of good dice, as one does. And it's fun. It's great. The community's been awesome. Which is kind of funny, because like everyone always like, oh, the nerdy Warhammer people. But, like, for the most part, I've actually met a lot of really cool, normal Warhammer people. Believe it or not, I'm gonna say believe it or normal. Believe it or normal. There we go. So maybe, I don't know if 40K's got more, you know, sweaty people, I guess you could say, but, I mean, I've played 40K too. I've seen a lot of 40K people, and they're also pretty cool, so I mean, I don't know. I think it's just, I think with the years going by and more people getting into, like, nerdier stuff, you know how now people, they're just, gaming is just a thing. Remember, gaming used to be like, the nerds playing the games, and now it feels like this is another one of those things, like with Dungeons and Dragons and video games and all this stuff becoming more mainstream. A lot more people get into Warhammer, and they don't get bullied in school for it. You know? So I think it's pretty neat. I still remember back when I got into it, when I was like 12 years old, one of my friends that we were playing Warhammer with, I mean, we didn't play it correctly, and we didn't paint correctly. We didn't do anything, but, you know, it was still fun. Because you're kids. You're like 12 or 13 or whatever. He was just like, dude, don't tell anybody at school I do this. We were just like, what? He didn't want anyone to know he played World of Warcraft either, so. He was just one of those types of people. He's like, I got too many normal friends. It's like, alright. I feel like nowadays, people be like, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. Very good. And it's a little too whoop. Shaded over there a little more right in there. What do we got? I think I got all the rocks. Just gotta go over and find spots I missed, like over here, or any pooling, or just spots I don't think look good. That's okay. That's okay. A little in here. There we go. Little, okay. I think we're good. Do I keep hitting the... I feel like I'm hitting the camera with my head. I probably am. I still need it. I feel like I need to switch up my camera angle again. I don't know. I need to... whatever. It's still better than what it used to be. Alright. So, boom. I have now painted the entire rock base with contrast. Uh-oh. So now the hard part is just letting it dry so that I can start dry brushing it. Which I'm not gonna be able to do in this video because I only got a couple minutes before I gotta go to the store before it closes. But what I am gonna do is go back to this one. All right. And I'm gonna take the smaller brush. I'm gonna take this Warp Lightning. All right. Shake it. All right. I won't spill it. Well, I probably will. Put it in the thing. All right. We're gonna take a little bit. And I need to go under here and kind of paint in all these little areas in between the metal. Although it's gonna be tricky. I might as well just paint over the metal, honestly, and then go back over it. It's kind of rough. Oh, man, that's not too bad. You can still kind of see the metal. It's not really covered. Okay, this is all right. Yeah. Yeah, let's do the same on the other side. Oh, God. I need to, like... Oh, that's too much. That's too much. All right, I'm going to have to just spread it out. Oh, boy. All right, here we go. Hold on. Take some here. Just keep... Honestly, I'm just gonna, like, throw it down there. And put some in here. We've hit the point. I'm just gonna straight up just start doing this. Whatever. If anything, the Warp Lightning fire can't be contained very well anyway. They're rats. They don't know anything. And probably a little bit up top. Some unpainted areas in here. Alright, and then hold down here. Here we go. I mean, honestly, like, hold on. Can't really see it well. Like, it looks pretty solid over there. It's definitely a little... Stop, zoop. Looks a little... Stop looking at the rat. Although that is a fun rat sitting on the post. I'm definitely just gonna have to, like, go over with some normal paint, but, like, I don't care. That's fine. It's easy to do. All right. Well, that's probably gonna be it for me. I gotta go to the store now, but hopefully you enjoyed this mini painting session, and hopefully there's much more to come. If you want to recommend something for me to paint on stream, that could be fun in the comments section below. So I have certain things. If you want to, we can do like a little vote. We have Skaven, we have Nurgle, we have Sylvaneth, we have orcs, we have 40k orcs, we have Necrons, we have Seraphon. Did I already say that? And I have numerous, I pretty much have like most of the models. So I mean, if you have any specific models or specific races or whatever you want me to paint, let me know in the comments section, and then I'll see what gets upvoted and what people would like to see. Because that'll be fun. And it helps me to actually paint something, you know what I mean? Instead of having it sit around, and then I usually just paint things for what I'm playing in the game. So like I'm about to play Skaven, so I'm painting Skaven, you know what I mean? But this will help me to paint other stuff that I wouldn't be normally painting because I'm not playing the game with them. Yeah. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time. Okay? Okay. See ya. I'm gonna turn this off.